We are live now.
Good evening, doctors and all the participants. Himon on behalf of Shield Healthcare, welcome you in today's session on importance of NCD and its disease burden, organized by Kanpur Obstetrics and Gynecology Society in association with Shield Connect. So let me introduce today's MOC, Dr. Seema Dwivedi, madam. Madam was the associate professor, Rama Medical College in the year 2002, and in 1999 she was assistant professor, Ajamgarh Medical College. She was awarded a district gold medal and a state level award, IMA President Award, and she was the organizing secretary in quiz and many national conferences, basic to recent UPCOG 2015. She was the joint organizing secretary WWWCon 2018, and her field of interest is academics, high risk obstetrics and ultrasound in pregnancy. Apart from that, in academic activities, madam participated many conferences, and she has many papers in well-accredited journal in national and international, and has participated as a faculty member and a speaker in many national conferences. So with the short introduction, I request Dr. Seema madam to take over the session for further process. So thank you very much, and over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Suman. Currently, I am professor in Obs and Gynae Department, GS Fahim Medical College, Kanpur. I welcome, and it's in the school winters, a warm welcome to eminent dignitaries and audacious audience to enlighten ourselves on the burning topic of non-communicable diseases. Before that, I would like to invite our dynamic, energetic, scholarly secretary, COGS, Dr. Kanchan Sharma, who is doing exceptional work in the area of non-communicable diseases, enhancing patient awareness, examination and management of these cases, besides collecting data and contributing to research work in thesis of PG students in medical college also. I now request Madam for her welcome address.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Seema, for that nice introduction. Good evening, our most respected and dear President, Dr. Rishikesh Pai, beloved Secretary General Dr. Madhuri Patel ma'am, and very respected and dear VPs or Foxy, respected Dr. Alka Pandey madam, most loving Dr. Yashodhara Pradeep madam, very affectionate Dr. Sampat Kumari madam, our national and motherly figure, Dr. Professor Meera Agnihotri, a real poise and hard-working lady and president of our my own society, Dr. Usha Goenka madam, and all the respected chairpersons and my co-speaker, Dr. Neena Gupta. I welcome all of you and want to start this webinar by name of that Almighty God. आजकल फॉक्सी की बदलाव यात्रा हमारे प्रिय प्रेसिडेंट डॉक्टर ऋषिकेश पाई सर के गाइडेंस में अत्यंत शानदार रूप से चल रही है. Congratulations for all of that, sir. Seeing this, we can say that हम लोग डॉक्टर्स, we all are every minute dedicated to society, every minute of every day. We doctors somewhere bring a smile, share a problem, and ease a pain, and make a special difference in the life of the people. Thank you very much. With that short introduction, I'll give again mic to my MOC, Dr. Seema Dwivedi.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. पुनर्वित्तम पुनर्मित्रम पुनर्भार्या पुनर्मही एतत् सर्वम पुनर्तभ्यम न शरीरम पुनः पुनः. आप दौलत, मित्र, पत्नी और राज्य गंवाकर तो वापस पा सकते हो, लेकिन once you are suffering from NCD, काया वापस नहीं मिलेगी. A devastating pandemic of NCDs is engulfing the whole world in its tentacles with 41 million deaths annually, which is 74% of all the deaths globally. We can imagine the lives lost, the mortality and the morbidity. Yes, friends, we need to change our lifestyles and protect ourselves. And Foxy is doing great work to achieve this aim. I invite our dynamic president, full of divinity and youthful vigor, Dr. Rishikesh Pai. आपका हौसला संगठन को बनाएगा अलहदा, सरहदों से पार जाकर आरोग्यता का संदेश देगा सर्वत्र सर्वदा. Our president, full of dynamism, is founder and medical director, Bloom IVF Group, Chief Administrator, Foxy Manyata Project. He has received innumerable awards and achievements, received 59 awards, including honorary FCOG fellowship. You name a post and position, and he has held it. Past Secretary General, Senior Vice President, Deputy Secretary General, Treasurer, Chairman, Foxy, besides so many other important posts in various other organizations. I welcome you, sir, for your blessings and address.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. First of all, let me pay my respect to Dr. Meera Agnihotri, our doyen. I always say that she is like a Foxy president only. Only a few of us can become president, but her stature is like a president or more than a president, I would say. And then we have Kanchan Sharma ji, who is doing this program along with our two vice presidents, Yashodhara Pradeep ji, and three are there. Alka Pandey ji and Sampath Kumar ji, and of course our Dr. Madhuri Patel has just joined in. I can see her now. Our Secretary General, dynamic Secretary General, one day will become president in the near future. No doubt about that. And then we have got other senior people who are there. Dr. Sunita Verma is there, Dr. Goenka, Dr. Dwivedi is there, and Dr. Neelam Mishra, Dr. Neena Gupta is there, and Dr. Kiran Pandey, of course, is our new incoming CME chairman. CME is a very important committee. She will be taking care of the force program. And is a part of the Gurukul Medha program, and also she looks after the most important part of the All India conference, that is the CG Sarya CME. So she has got a lot of responsibility to do. So today's program is on NCDs, and the two main killers in India is a pregnancy, that is the maternal mortality rate, and the cancer-related deaths also. And then as we are becoming more and more developed, the deaths due to infection and all are going down. The death due to maternal mortality slowly is going down. From 300, we have come to 113. Many of the states in the south have got a maternal mortality of 30. And so as the maternal mortality goes down, obviously the other mortalities will start getting focused. So mortality is coming and morbidity is coming from non-communicable diseases, and that is actually the concept of mine. So the Badlao program has the second concept, which is the Badlao Clinic, and that was actually launched by Leela Vyas in the Ranthambore conference. But I've been too many things are happening at the same time, because I wanted to launch certain concept before I take over the presidency. It's too short now. The Royal College gets 3 years as a president. We get only 1 year. Fortunately, because of the COVID, for bad or good or bad, I got this 1 year and 2.5 months. So the 2.5 months, I'm trying to just get everything into position. So one of the concept was the Badlao Clinic. So when I was the Secretary General of the Federation in 2016, Alka Kripalani was the president, and that time we got the letter from the secretary that they want to start a Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan. So the IMA, that time Dr. K.K. Agarwal was the IMA president. So we started the PMSME scheme. And that time I remember I sent an SMS to 38,000 members, and 1,500 people volunteered for the PMSME scheme. Many of them, the government was very happy, and many of them did a fantastic job, and many of them got awarded also. And the PMSME is a very successful scheme. And that's why now that is converted to the Suman scheme. So in my mind, I always had this idea that we must have a thing for non-pregnant women. That is NCD. They already have the wellness clinic, but I thought that let us do something which will give it a formal thing. So that is where my Badlao Clinic concept came in. So I said, let me, as the Pradhan Mantri has already had 9th of every month, they are having the PMSM, and let me launch the Badlao Clinic on 18th of every month, which will be the non-pregnant clinic. So any person who is a volunteer of the Badlao Clinic. So I'm going to now send a SMS with the help of Dr. Madhuri Patel, our Secretary General, and we will start motivating people to enroll in the Badlao Clinic. So on 18th of every month, if you become a Badlao Clinic holder, you will be, on 18th, you will get the patients whom you do free of charge checkup, and you can give the testing at a less cost. We will also try to tie up with the app so that we can put data entry. So National Family Health Survey number 5, the same data sheet I have already. So in all the camps, if you see all the camp that we are doing in the Nari Swasthya Jan Andolan Yatra, the data sheet is the exact replica of the National Family Health Survey number 5. So what I wanted to do was, I wanted to contribute information. So let us see if we can achieve about. So NHF5 had 700,000 data entries. 6 lakhs were women and 1 lakh were men. We must beat it. I want Foxy to beat the NHF survey. So by November next, we must cross 10 lakh entries. I want 10 lakh entries from all of you. So 10 lakh, we will do data entry and do the analysis and give it to the government. So Badlaav Clinic should be run on 18th of every month. So what we will do is, I want it to be taken by Pradhan Mantri as Pradhan Mantri Nari Swasthya Badlaav Abhiyan. So I want to showcase these clinics, and by next year, we will go to the PM and say, listen, doctor, sir, we have done the non-pregnant women, we have done the NCD, we have the Badlaav clinics in place, you convert them into Nari Swasthya Badlaav Jan Andolan clinics, and here is the data analysis of 10 lakh people. And that is what will really make a difference. So this is my target. So the target is, I'm setting the target for all of you, and let us hope that we can win the target. We will do it through two-prong attack, through the what we are doing is the camps. So like on the first day, I don't know, I've not yet received the information from the AIMS Rishikesh how many they did, but on second day in Dehradun they did in Khora Makhanpur Gaja, 220 patients, and in Meerut also they did around 230 or 40 patients. So they have really, so this will go on, the data will go on, we'll start feeding the data in the computers and start analyzing the data as well. So it's a definitive a strategy that I have in my mind, and I'm working towards that strategy, and I don't want to waste more of your time. So I wish you all the best. And these Badlaav clinics will integrate all the NCDs. So they will be trained. I was just now talking in the afternoon to one of the large cancer associations. So we'll train all of them in colposcopy, in LEAP procedure. All those things we are going to train. So the clinics will be well equipped to do everything. So let me end by thanking Kanchan, because this is my idea, and I hope that we can implement it. And the most important implementation is going to be in the north. So I want volunteers. When I send a SMS, I want volunteers, and all those Badlaav clinics will be awarded by the federation, just like we did for the PMSME. Thank you very much for calling me. And now I'm going to go, and because I have to get ready for the program down below in the Patna. People are waiting. So please excuse me, but my heart is always with you, and I love Kanpur and every one of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Great persons always have a great ideas. That is you, sir. And thank you for enlightening about the concept clinic. And we all will help and try to fill more and more data.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time and your vision and mission. Thank you, sir. Now I invite our next chief guest, our divine diva, magnanimous personality, and showering us with her motherly affection, Mamta Mai, Durga Mai, Saraswati Lakshmi, Sarva Devi Samagami, ऊर्जा मई, जिनकी ऊर्जा हम सबको प्रेरणा देती हैं. Professor Dr. Meera Agnihotri, ex-professor and head GSVM Medical College, chairman ethics and research. Ma'am, multitude of awards and multitude of achievements to her credit, and unka margdarshan. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Madam, most welcome. You are always in our hearts and our inspiration.
At the outset, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the organization, and particularly Rishi for making such a wonderful meeting about it. We are all fully aware, and the dignitaries sitting before me, I'll be starting with Sampat Kumari, my Yashodhara Pradeep, Dr. Alka Pandey, Seema, Dr. Sumita, Usha Goenka, Neelam Mishra, I can see Dr. Madhuri Patel, Dr. Kiran Pandey, who has recently joined as chairperson of the Medical Education Committee, one of the most important committees which are going to be held. Neena Gupta, professor and head of the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, who will be taking charge of the camp on 8th. So welcome all. First of all, NCDs, everybody is aware. प्रधानमंत्री सुरक्षित मातृत्व योजना हर 9 तारीख को हम लोग सेलिब्रेट करते हैं और करते रहेंगे, आगे भी करते रहेंगे जितनी अपनी कैपेसिटी होती है उसके अकॉर्डिंग. आई हैव स्टार्टेड हेल्थ ऑन व्हील्स, जिसमें हमें कुछ कंपनीज का हेल्प मिल जाती है और हमको वैन मिल जाती है और उस वैन में हीमोग्लोबिनोमीटर और बहुत सी ऐसी चीजें जो हम डोर टू डोर कर सकते हैं, हेल्थ एट योर डोर स्टेप कर सकते हैं, वो हम लोग कंटिन्यूसली कर रहे हैं और जो भी हम लोगों के पास आता है उसको हम लोग प्रोवाइड करते हैं. आई कीप ऑन टॉकिंग टू ऑल द मेंबर्स सिटिंग ओवर हियर इन माय सोसाइटी कि हम लोग आगे डोनेशन में क्या कर सकते हैं. कभी नीलम से बात करते हैं, उषा से, माधुरी. आई कैन टेल यू दैट वी आर गोइंग टू क्रिएट ए गुड बैंक फॉर यू सी एक्सटेंडिंग आवर सर्विसेज टू द कम्युनिटी. आज का प्रोग्राम बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है तो हम आप लोगों के बीच में बिल्कुल नहीं रहेंगे. एनसीडीज के बारे में जितना कहा जाए उतना कम है. पिछले 2 महीने से लगातार कम से कम हम लोग 10 इम्पोर्टेंट मीटिंग्स एनसीडीज पर अटेंड कर चुके हैं. एंड वी आर नो दैट देयर आर सर्टेन डिजीजेस व्हिच स्टार्ट इन द चाइल्डहुड एंड आर मैनिफेस्टेड इन द एडल्टहुड. So we have to just cut the vicious circle so that it is not regenerating and regenerating into the coming generation. So once again, I extend my thanks. Thank you, Seema, for your lovely and kind words. Thank you, Usha. Thank you, Kanchan. And my heartfelt love and thanks once again to all the friends, Alka, Yashodhra, Sampath, Kiran, Neelam, and Sumita. Please accept my good wishes and please continue with the program.
Thank you, madam.
It's going to be a best program. And all the friends sitting over there, you are very, very cordially invited to be with us on 8th evening and have Rukha Sukha Bhojan with us in the night. Sampath Kumari also. I think she is coming. Thank you very much.
Yes, she is coming, madam. So thank you, madam, for your blessings and kind words.
I have to convey to Madhuri. Madhuri, can you hear me?
Yes, madam, I can hear you.
We are continuing with the Surakshit Matritva Yojana and another Pradhan Mantri's about this Yojana and Yogi's Yojana, as has been told by our president. We will definitely continue with these programs and we will be helpful. Our society will cooperate with full hands. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for always blessing us. Yes, Dr. Seema.
Namaskar.
Please invite to Dr. Madhuri.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your blessings. I now invite our guest of honor, Dr. Madhuri Patel. Adharam madhuram vadanam madhuram nayanam madhuram hasitam madhuram, ever smiling, sweet persona, honey-filled voice, and a personality. Secretary General Foxy, former professor and head, Obs and Gynae, MGM H Mumbai, former associate professor, GMC Mumbai, awarded with many awards, more than 50 associate editor award. I request, ma'am, for your kind words of blessings.
Thank you, Seema, for the,
welcome, madam.
Warm words, and your whatever stanza you said, Madhur, I will definitely learn myself. And you talked about Rishikesh, you talked about Madam Meera, and that is Urja, and I will definitely come to Kanpur to learn all these words. I'm really impressed.
Welcome, madam.
Yeah, so respected our most dynamic president, Dr. Rishikesh Pai, then our, Madam Meera Agnihotri. She is such an active lady and she's a chairperson of Triple W Cone. And, I have been, always, admiring her for her energy and, for her encouragement. and the work, the amount of work is doing. Madam, I will definitely remember, and as a Secretary General, I'm very happy to know that you want to continue, your society want to continue, and you're motivating everybody to continue to do the good work for our country. So, Madam, thank you very much. Then Dr. Seema, our MOC, right? Seema, I'm definitely going to come to you. Then all the vice president, all the vice president of FOGSI, Dr. Alka Pandey, Dr. Sampat Kumari, Dr. Yashodhara Pradeep, and all the speakers. So, Kanchan, you are as a speaker and as a Secretary General, then Dr. Goenka, Usha Goenka, President, and Dr. Kiran Pandey, Dr. Nilima, Dr. Neena Gupta, Dr. Sumitra, Dr. Sabha, Dr. Archana, and all my dear friends who have joined, over here for this webinar. And as in FOGSI, I would like to, at the outset, I would like to thank the organizer of the Kanpur OBGY Society for giving me this opportunity. As a Secretary General of FOGSI, I would like to mention that the FOGSI is most vibrant, prestigious, and one of the largest OBGY professional organization of the world, and 263 member bodies and 38,000 plus, committed members to the women's health. And what I can see, that my 263 societies, Kanpur is one of the most vibrant societies, doing so many activities with so many members. I'm really impressed under the guidance of Madam, Agnihotri and Usha and Kanchan.
Thank
So
you.
these topics, NCD, as Dr. Rishikesh pointed out, maternal mortality is our primary aim of FOGSI vision is to reduce the MMR. But now, as he has said that the NCD is also the most important part, because the mortality and morbidity is very high with this NCD. And definitely we have to concentrate on the lifestyle changes, which will prevent so many NCDs like obesity, hypertension, diabetes, cardiovascular disease. And of course, we should not forget about the breast cancer and the cervical cancer in our country, where they require a proper, investigation, screening program, especially, to prevent or to, diagnose in a, the curable stage. So there is a less suffering for the women as far as the morbidity is concerned, and the mortality also we can prevent. So the topic of today's are excellent. So organizer, I'm really, congratulating you for the most step webinar, and the speakers and the chairperson are also, going to enlighten us on the important topics of NCD, which will help us in day-to-day practice to benefit our women. And I always like to quote, at the end, the Nelson Mandela, that education is the best weapon when used can change the world. So dear friends, let us use this education, update our knowledge, and give the best to our women, and remove you cannot remove the NCD, but at least you minimize the NCD. Because of that, you can reduce the morbidity and mortality. Thank you once again to the organizer for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, madam, for your words of wisdom. About you, I can only say that you are a good human being, a warm-hearted, affectionate person. Thank you, madam, for your blessings.
Thank you very much, Kanchan and Seema and everybody.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your affectionate words. We are fortunate to have our presidents, our FOGSI president, secretary, and vice presidents, a constellation of stars, so that we also come to know, besides the lecture, we also come to know their views, their visions, missions, and what the government and the organization as a whole is doing in the arena of NCDs. So proceeding further with the program, we are fortunate to have our vice presidents, and I now invite and welcome Dr. Alka Pandey, a very affectionate personality, and we are fortunate to have all the Madhur personalities with us. So I would add on Vachanam Madhuram Charitam Madhuram Vasanam Madhuram Valitam Madhuram Madhuradepati Akhilam Madhuram. Professor, Department of Obs and Gynae, Patna Medical College, Vice President-elect FOGSI, Member Governing Council ICOG 21-22, Chairperson Practical Obstetric Committee, National Corresponding Editor Jogi, President Patna Obs and Gynae Society in 2012 and 14, Joint Organizing Secretary of 57th AICOG and Organizing Chairperson 24th BoxCon. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Seema ji. And thank you very much.
Welcome, madam.
Webinar for giving me this opportunity to be the guest of honor in your webinar. And I must congratulate you because you have selected a very in topic. The government is also focusing on NCDs. And as you heard Dr. Pai saying that on every 18th of this month, we are going to off every month for 3 years at least. We are going to have this Badlao clinic and we are going to examine the NCD patients and give free treatment to them. We have already started and the anemia clinic is running on. The anemia ride is running on, and at the same time, carcinoma cervix screening, blood pressure screening is going on along the yatra of our president. So congratulations a lot for selecting this topic. And now let us hear what you have to say about it.
Thank you, madam. You are so affectionate for your nice words and blessings. Thank you so much for joining, madam. Dr. Seema.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your words of wisdom. I now welcome Professor S. Sampath Kumari, Foxy Vice President 2022. Going ahead with the Madhur personalities of all our dignitaries, Venur Madhuro, Renur Madhura, Pranir Madhura, Pado Madhuro, Madhuradipatim, Akilam Madhuram. So having all these Madhur qualities in Madam, she is Founder Secretary, TNFOG, National Correspondent Editor, Jogi, Senate Member, TNDR. She has been associated with innumerable...
We will start the program. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Ma'am.
Thank you, Neelam. See, really, first of all, I thank the organizers for inviting me. See, as everyone was telling, our President Pai sir has already started this NCD by the Yatra itself. Wherever we went, we were started this program from Rishikesh. That is then Dehradun and Ghaziabad and Meerut. There the anemia screening was done and the cancer screening was done. So the program is already started. First of all, I want to thank the organizer and the Meera madam. I have been to Kanpur when I was a committee chairperson, and I went to Meera madam's house also. So she's a gift to Kanpur, I think. So I need the blessings of Meera madam. And this NCD clinic, as we are doing the anemia awareness, cancer screening, obesity, and everything should be started from the adolescent. See, this NCD, usually I used to tell the wherever it is, the obesity, if it is stopped from the adolescent, we can reduce the diabetes and the PCOS. From the PCOS, GDM, then the metabolic. So this NCD clinic is really very, very essential. I think this is the first CME which the Kanchan has organized about the non-communicable disease. So as our president told, we will conduct the Badlao clinic on every month, 18th, and as his wish, we can go to the 10 lakhs of patients can be covered. I wish you all the success for the webinar. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me and inviting.
Thank you, madam, very much for blessing us. My wish is may your day be wonderful and healthy. Like you make it for others, I want to thank you, madam. Thank you so much for joining and blessing us.
Thank you, ma'am, for your words of wisdom. What a fortune to have all the stars of our galaxy with us. So now my warm welcome to Dr. Yashodhara Pradeep, a very enchanting personality. Karanam Madhuram, Taranam Madhuram, Haranam Madhuram, Ramanam Madhuram, Madhuradipati, Akilam Madhuram. We are so fortunate to have all our vice presidents, secretary and president, all full of such madhurya. She is Vice President, Foxy, Professor and Head Obs and Gynae
Seema,
Department, Dr.
Seema,
Ram Manohar
let it be.
Lohia, Lucknow.
Everybody knows here. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, you have been awarded with so many awards and you have an experience of more than 35 years. We will today be enlightened by your such great experiences.
Welcome, madam.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Here, all are my friends, colleagues, and teachers. Teachers of the teachers. Meera ji, I know when I was a UG, she was coming as an examiner every year. Kiran ji is my senior. Neena is HOD now. Dr. Neelam Mishra, we had presidentship together, Cox and Locks. Dr. Usha Goenka is now the current president. Kanchan is secretary. So this is all Dr. Madhavi Patel, Dr. Sampath Kumari, and Dr. Alka Pandey, my co-vice presidents, and on the top of it, Dr. Rishikesh Pai, who took out the time to join this. So I just want to mention that this is a very good idea because as Dr. Pai has mentioned, that the death rate is going to decrease by the infections, but it's going to take NCDs. This is the hard. It's not only the mortality. I talk about the morbidity. That if you are not taking care, good care of your health in your 40s, you are going to have problems in your later. So because I am also having the midlife is a very important Foxy's committee. And I can tell you as the age increasing, these morbidities are increasing. So our point is we should remain healthy, and it comes from doctors to all screenings done for the breast cancer, for cervical cancer, for diabetes, and for obesity. We are who has to start, and we have to say that we have done it. It's your time, and please don't leave any opportunity to be lost opportunity when she's coming to you for any type of the screening, whether it is a diabetes, whether it is a hypertension, whether it is a lipidemia. Lipidemia is very high in our country. I was just going through some literature. It's been nearly 70% in comparison to the countries, South Asian countries I'm talking about. Although the diabetes and hypertension is, but is very high. Maybe this lipidemia is because people have been for diabetes and hypertension. Because if your diabetes is uncontrolled, your triglycerides increase. If your fatty liver, triglycerides will increase. So if you get to see the triglycerides, it's a retrospective way you have to go through it. So I don't want to be stand between you and the webinar. So it's just a food for thought. It's just looking at the lipid report. Can we go retrospect because why the triglycerides are increased? So is it a fatty liver, or is it a diabetes, or is it a hypertension and obesity? And then we can start searching for it and start advising this woman for this lipidemia. It's a 70%. Osteoporosis is also into it, non-communicable disease. But at the moment, as Dr. Pai has said, Badlao, he's really sowing the seeds of Badlao. And we all going to start that Badlao clinics, and we are all going to do on 18th of every month, like a PMSA on 8th of every month. We are going to do 18th of every month. And whatever the data we collect, we should give it to Foxy. So always I say and mention, alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much. So we all Foxy, 38,000 Foxians, 263 members, if they are going to do even 2 patients per day, probably 10 lakh is not a dream. We can achieve it. What Dr. Pai's dream is. So I just said if 36,000 are going to give 2 patients, data of the 2 patients every day, which is not a very hard task. You can imagine what we can do in 6 months, we can complete this. So with these, Sumita is there. So with these words, I just want to wish you all success on a very important webinar, which is morbidity and mortality. I talk about more of a morbidity than mortality, because morbidity is really, it is high with these diseases. You have got you do not have your quality of life. Your quality of life is suffering. So for quality of life, you have to have the non-communicable disease to be controlled. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity and joining it.
Thank you, madam. Really, for your words of wisdom. As madam says, Dr. Meera Agnihotri says, you are more from Kanpur. We assume you as originally from the Kanpur. About you, we can say when there are tears, you are shoulders. When there is pain, you are medicine. When there is a tragedy, you are a hope. You are very much ours only, madam. Thank you so much for blessing us. Dr. Seema.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your advices and words of wisdom. To achieve heights of success, blessings of our seniors is a necessity. And today we are fortunate to have blessings from the whole Foxy team. So going ahead with the program, starting off with our first session, the chairpersons are Dr. Usha Goenka, our dynamic president, COGS, full of love and generosity for everyone. Apritam Madhuram Sarvam Madhuram. Holding dignified position in COGS, IMS, ASOPAB, I request you, ma'am, to kindly introduce our speaker. Her field of interest is IVF and infertility. And ma'am always guides us.
सीमा पहले बाकी दोनों चेयरपर्सन्स को भी बुला लीजिए फिर.
Sorry, ma'am. We are fortunate to have our past COGS presidents as our chairperson for this session. Now I request
the chairperson also, chairperson.
Medical education chairperson.
So our next chairperson is Dr. Kiran Pandey, magnetic persona, the beauty with brains, Ojasvi Charitra, Karishmai Vyaktitva, Madhurya se Paripurna.
Oh, thank you so much.
She is ex-professor, HOD, GSVM Medical College, Obs and Gynae Department, Chairperson Medical Education Committee, ICOG Governing Council Member, Chairperson IMA WDW, Vice President UPCOG, Past President COGS and IMA.
Thank you, Beta. Thank you.
Welcome, madam. Welcome, madam.
Thank you.
Welcome, ma'am. Our next chairperson is Dr. Neelam Mishra, ever smiling, magnanimous personality, Madhurya Paripurna, Madhurta Sampurna. She is President, ISOPAB Society, Kanpur, immediate past President, IMA Kanpur, immediate past President, COGS.
Welcome, madam.
Thank you.
Now I request Dr. Usha Goenka to kindly introduce our speaker.
Thank you, Seema. Thank you for your kind words. With blessings of my motherly figure, our patron, Dr. Meera Agnihotri, my heartfelt regards to our highly visionary president, Dr. Rishikesh Pai, and we're there with him in Nari Swast Badlao Abhiyan. We'll try to do it every 18th of every month. Dr. Madhvi Patel, Dr. Sampat Kumari, Dr. Alka Pandey, Dr. Shodhra Pradeep, Dr. Smita Verma, Dr. Kiran Pandey, and Dr. Neena Gupta. I welcome my co-chairperson, Dr. Neelam Mishra and Dr. Kiran Pandey. We all know that Dr. Kanchan, my most dynamic secretary, doesn't need any introduction. She's so dynamic, and I think everybody knows, throughout Foxy, everyone knows Kanchan. Still, I'll tell, she's a Secretary General of Kanpur Society. She's MBBS, MS, and she's president. Oh, so sorry. She is director of Akash IVF Center, and she has innumerable awards to her credit.
That is
I will not come in between Kanchan and you people. I request Kanchan to deliver her lecture. Welcome, Kanchan.
Thank you, madam. I just want to share the screen. Thank you for your nice words and love and affection that I always get from you.
Thank you.
My screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
It is visible and I am audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, thank you, respected chairpersons and most respected President of FOXI, all Secretary General Dr. Madhuri Patel and all the Vice President for joining today's webinar and blessing us for this. Thanks my President Dr. Usha Goenka and Chairperson of Medical Education Dr. Kiran Pandey and past President Dr. Neelam Mishra for being chairing this session. I just want to present a brief outlook about the non-communicable diseases and its disease burden. That is very important in today's scenario, as we know, and my sincere thanks to all of this. Non-communicable diseases, if we come to know that this include cancer, diabetes, even chronic lung diseases, other NCDs, heart diseases, even mental illness, physical inactivity, smoking, and unhealthy diet. These all they come under the heading of non-communicable diseases. So what is its definition? When we come, NCD is a medical condition or the disease which is not infectious, which are generally chronic in nature and have relatively low progression. They are not transmitted from one person to another by any agency. This is very important. So NCDs are a defining problem of the 21st century with an estimated economic loss of $7 trillion, especially in low and middle income countries between 2011 to 2025. By 2025, NCDs are expected to cause 7 out of every 10 deaths in developing countries. This challenge raises many questions, including how to raise the priority of the NCD on the national policy agendas and augment the capacities and identify resources to overcome it. What are the types of NCDs? These are cardiovascular diseases that include coronary heart disease, stroke, and hypertension, cancer, chronic respiratory diseases, diabetes, mental illness, and account for the majority of the deaths and the disabilities, mental illness. So 1 in 3 deaths in the women are from the cardiovascular disease and stroke, as we see. And the cancer is not visible. Yes, yes, madam. My screen is not visible. Hello.
Yes.
My screen is
not visible. Yes.
Is not visible. So I stop sharing and again share.
It is visible to us.
It was not visible.
Ma'am, it was visible to us.
It was visible.
It was visible. Some connection must be problematic in Madam's network. Otherwise, it was visible to us.
Now this is visible.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Visible in the full screen.
21 फरवरी को डेट है ना?
Ma'am, yes.
ठीक है, मैडम visible है?
डेट तो दोनों सुई पड़ गया.
Kindly.
Visible है. Visible है.
Kindly mute
I think Dr. Alka madam का speaker on है.
Kindly mute everyone.
जी जी जी. So other alarming, Dr. Seema, I am audible and visible. My slides are visible.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. Everything is visible and audible also.
Yes, Kanchan, you are audible and visible both.
Okay, thank you so much. So alarming growth, there are some chronic respiratory diseases which also come under heading of this NCDs. Diabetes, as I have mentioned in this diagram, mental illness, they are very important part of it. Why NCDs are important public health problem? This is our all's concern. NCDs are a major problem because 4 million deaths per year are there by the NCDs. It is expected to increase up to 52 million deaths per year by 2030, and 71% of the deaths are, that is considerable disability, that is there in the low and the middle economic countries. So it causes an economic impact, and health budget also increases because of it. There is a global burden. Non-communicable diseases kill 38 million people each year. Almost 80% deaths, that is 28 million, occur in low and middle economic countries. 16 million NCD deaths occur before the age of 70. And 82% of these premature deaths occur in low and middle economic countries. So this is very important data. Cardiovascular diseases account for most 40% of the NCD deaths, followed by cancers, that is 8.2 million, respiratory diseases almost 4 million, and diabetes 1.5 million. These 4 groups of diseases account for 82% of all NCD deaths. Tobacco use, physical inactivity, and the harmful use of alcohol and unhealthy diet all increase the risk of dying from NCDs. This figure shows that this blue one, that is the cardiovascular diseases. There is maximum deaths by the cardiovascular diseases, and the second number is the cancer.
Defect, beta, defect, DEFECT, beta. Defect.
Total deaths by broad cause group by WHO regime, that is being shown in this figure in the males and as well as the female. You see that the pink one makes the non-communicable diseases. This is pink one that makes the non-communicable diseases. So they are making now more and more even than the communicable diseases. Graph showing the project mortality trend from 2008 to 2013. You see that Dr. Neelam Mishra ka mic on hai. This red, the highest incidence is by these non-communicable diseases. That shows the now coming at cardiovascular diseases highest incidences. So ranking of 10 selected risk factors for cause of death. We can see highest is the raised blood pressure, then tobacco, high blood glucose, physical inactivity, overweight and obesity, high cholesterol, unsafe sex, alcohol use, childhood underweight, and indoor smoke from the solid fuels. This is the graph. Now, what are the risk factors of the NCDs? As already discussed, high blood pressure is very important risk factor. Physical and inactivity, as I have shown in this figure, obesity is very important risk factor. Raised cholesterol, decreased vegetable and fruit intake, raised blood glucose level, alcohol and tobacco use. These all are very important risk factors for NCDs. Risk factors may be divided broadly in non-modifiable as well as the modifiable risk factor. Non-modifiable risk factor, these are age, gender, family history, ethnicity, and prior stroke or the heart attacks. While the factors on which we have to pay attention and we can modify, these are unhealthy diet. These are high blood sugar level. These are smoking. These are high blood pressure. These are high cholesterol, physical inactivity, overweight and excessive alcohol and stress. So modifiable behavioral risk factors are tobacco use. We have already discussed physical inactivity, unhealthy diet and harmful use of alcohol, which increase the risk of NCDs. Tobacco that account for around 6 million deaths every year and is projected to increase to 8 million by 2030. More than half of the 3.3 million annual deaths are from harmful drinking are from NCDs. About 3.2 million deaths annually can be attributed to insufficient physical activity. So we should pay attention on this. In 2010, 1.7 million deaths from CVS have been attributed to excess salt and sodium intake. So these risk factors, they accumulate throughout the life, starting from in utero, childhood, adolescent and adulthood and the midlife. There is a cumulative effect of these risk factors. So we should pay attention from the very beginning. Prevention and control of NCDs is very important. WHO response. What is the response of WHO? In 2011, under the banner of WHO, more than 190 countries agreed to reduce the NCD burden, including a global action plan for the prevention and control of NCDs. This plan aims to reduce the number of premature death from NCD by 25% by 2025 through 9 voluntary global targets. These targets are very important. The targets will focus on addressing main risk factors such as tobacco use, harmful use of alcohol, unhealthy diet, and physical inactivity. The UN General Assembly will convene a third high-level meeting on NCD in 2018. It has occurred already to take stock of progress in attaining the global targets by 2025. The first global ministerial conference on healthy lifestyle and the non-communicable disease control happened on 28 to 29th April 2011 in Moscow. The aim of the conference was to support the member state, develop and strengthen policies and programs on healthy lifestyle and NCD prevention. The conference had 3 main goals: to highlight the magnitude and socioeconomic impact of NCDs and to review the international experience on NCD prevention and control, to provide evidence on the pressing need to strengthen global and the national initiative to prevent NCDs as part of national health plans and sustainable developmental framework. Non-communicable diseases, parameter for estimation of behavioral and metabolic risk factors. What are the parameters? Current daily tobacco smoking, the percentage of the population aged 15 or older who smoke tobacco on a daily basis. They are under high risk. While if talking of the physical activity, the percentage of the population aged 15 or older engaging in the less than 30 minutes of the moderate activity per week, or less than 20 minutes of vigorous activity 3 times per week, or the equivalent should be done. Raised blood pressure, the percentage of population aged 25 or older having systolic blood pressure of equal to more than 140 millimeter of mercury, or diastolic blood pressure more than or equal to 90 millimeter mercury, or on medication to lower the blood pressure, are under high risk. Raised blood glucose, the percentage of population aged 25 or older having a fasting blood glucose value equal to or more than 126 milligram per dl, or they are on the medication or overweight. The percentage of population aged 20 or older having a body BMI of equal to or more than 25 kg per square meter. Obesity, obese person. The percentage of population aged 20 or older having a BMI of equal to or more than 30 kg per square meter, and or having the raised cholesterol, the percentage of population aged 25 or older having a total cholesterol value equal to or more than 190 milligram per dl are under high risk. So millions of deaths can be prevented by stronger implementation of measures that exist today. These include policies that promote government-wide action against the NCDs. These are stronger anti-tobacco control, promoting healthier diet, physical activity, reducing harmful use of alcohol, along with improving people's access to essential health care. So this is the Indian scenario. Our even family welfare department is also working for it. There are few national programs which are under our scheme, government scheme. These are national programs for prevention and control of cancer, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease and stroke. These are termed in short NPCDCS. NPCDCS are a very important program implemented by our government. National Program for Control of Blindness and Visual Impairment, NPCBVI, National Mental Health Program, National Program for Healthcare of Elderly, National Program for Prevention of Control of Deafness, National Tobacco Control Program, National Oral Health Program, National Program for Palliative Care, National Program for Prevention and Management of Burn Injury and other non-communicable diseases. These are very important programs which are there in our health ministry. So coming on NPCDCS, which is very important program by our government. But in short, I'll just discuss few objectives of these. These are to prevent and control the common NCDs through behavioral and the lifestyle changes, and provide early diagnosis and management of common NCDs, build capacity at the various level of healthcare for prevention and diagnosis and treatment of common NCDs, train the human resource to cope with the increasing burden of NCDs, and establish and develop capacity for palliative and rehabilitative care. So the guidelines are being issued to the state for initiating population-based screening for NCDs, including diabetes, hypertension, COPDs, and the chronic kidney disease. इसमें क्या है, pilot project on integration of Ayush with NPCDCs has been initiated in 6 districts. 6 districts में start किया गया in the country, wherein the practice of yoga is an integral part of the intervention. Pilot intervention has been initiated for prevention and control of rheumatic fever and rheumatic heart disease under the platform of NPCDCs and RBSK, that is Rashtriya Bal Swasthya Karyakram, in 3 districts, select districts. ये कौन-कौन से हैं? These are Gaya in Bihar, Firozabad in Uttar Pradesh, and Hoshangabad in MP, Madhya Pradesh. This intervention would be scaled up to other districts in a phased manner. Another initiative is the integration of RNTCP with NPCDCS, wherein the National Framework for Joint Tuberculosis and Diabetes Collaborative Activities has been developed to articulate a national strategy for bidirectional screening, early detection, and better management of tuberculosis and diabetes comorbidities in India. So in summary, the non-communicable diseases are now the most common cause of death worldwide. Increasing rates in low and the middle income countries because of change in lifestyle is there. Key risk factors have very large effects. Interventions are effective and can reduce the burden. The need to combine results and have large studies. So take home message is 80% of the heart disease, diabetes, and the respiratory diseases, and 40% of the cancer are preventable by eliminating our common risk factors. So we need to work on it. Thank you very much. So have a healthy lifestyle, do exercise regularly, eat healthy, drink plenty of water, and reduce stress. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, the chairpersons and all the respected.
Now I request the chairpersons to kindly give their expert views.
Thank you, Karchan. You have given a very good cover on the non-communicable disease, and it is right that we should try to control this disease right from the before the birth of the baby in utero. Like for every antenatal case, we must get HbA1c and thalassemia screening so that these children later on, they don't suffer from diabetes or thalassemia like that. In the childhood, also, we should not allow them to become fat. We should enhance more physical activity, healthy diet. Like mothers, they want that their baby should be very chubby, and they get, after that, they have increased cholesterol in later life and blood pressure. And right from before birth, in the utero, then in the childhood, then in the adolescent, especially in the school going children, they are so, nowadays they are so much involved in the phone and laptops that they don't do hardly any physical activity and taking all the time of junk food. We must discourage them from doing all these things. Then coming to the young age, of course, when the patient come to us, antenatal case, we must screen every patient for diabetes, cholesterol, and for thalassemia screening. And even in the midlife also, when the patient enters, we must screen for all the patient, like pap smear and blood sugar, HbA1c, mammography, so that we can detect very early all these diseases, and patient should not land up. And this is very important message, that we should discourage everybody to take tobacco. We should have a healthy lifestyle. There should not be any consumption of alcohol. And especially nowadays in school going children, they are taking a lot of, smoking is very common, alcohol and beer, very small children at 14, 15 years. It is the duty of the school administration to simply control these things in the school, so they can be benefited all these things. And of course, in the midlife and old age, by screening. So it's a very good lecture, and really I'm thrilled with your talk. You have covered everything so nicely. Thank you.
Thank you, Kanchan. You have really done wonders. The detailed discussion and all the detailed programs, the WHO goal, everything has been discussed very nicely and in a detail by Kanchan. So nothing much to remain. The rest, Neelam has already said those important points. Main thing is this. One thing I just feel, Neelam, as you said, schools and definitely, I mean, the young adolescents have to be, since very beginning, their, I mean, sanskar has to be changed, because Western culture ka jo effect hai, that is everybody is now going to that show off, that peer pressure, that fashion, that art is there. And of course, the incidence definitely so much says the world data, that's the deaths before 70 years. But what I feel, I mean, maybe after a few years, the data will come more, that even in the, and you must all be feeling that the young, even the middle age, before 50 also, that 40 to 50 wala jo age group hai, they are also having sudden upsurge of NCDs and getting succumbed to that. You must have seen cardiac jo problems hai, which is a cardiovascular accidents, is one of the top cause into the NCD, is coming very in, is occurring into the very young adults. So that's very, very important, that we should now focus. Should be that the age ka jo our mindset is that it comes into the later age. This is concept has changed, and I think in few years the data will come and show us that they are increasing into the young adults. And the reason is the same as Kanchan has discussed. A physical inactivity is one of the very important cause. Of course, tobacco, alcohol, unhealthy diet, ye jo junk food aa gaya hai pura. We have moved from that our Indian food, jo roti dal sabji ki jagah everybody wants to go out. Ab to wo Zomato and that I don't know, jitne sare hain, they within 5 minutes aapko pahuncha denge, and that is the competition. So they are all affecting us, and people are not taking that NCDs as serious as they think of cancer and other things. So mindset is also very important to be corrected if we want that global assembly, WHO World Assembly, the target which they have extended to 2030. If we really have to move to that target, then definitely the mindset of each and every individual is important. To a doctor, they should screen, as Dr. Neelam was saying, thinking all the time that everybody, not taking the barrier of age, anybody can have. So always keep it into mind. That is one.
telling them those 4, 5, our duty is to tell them the risk criteria, screen them, and of course, guide them, motivate them for a healthy lifestyle. Only then it is possible. But still, there is a big if, big if, because you see, jo Western culture mein jo ho raha hai, they have changed. I see them ki everywhere, if they have to go, they will running from one place to another. Their lifestyle is different, those who are conscious. But in our place, we don't move without car. So these are the things which are definitely have to be changed. Thank you once again, Kanchan. Nothing much to be added.
Nowadays, youngsters are so much in the stress, the most important factor. Because of that, they are getting diabetes.
Stress is the, yes, Kanchan focus, that is very good.
They should keep away themselves from stress. That is the most.
Yes, running from one place. Even doctors में कितना ज़्यादा है कि जल्दी सब कुछ, वो that cool and that patience वाला, that part is gone. कि पहले हम लोग के समय में they were saying कि up slow and steady, up you will keep on rising, but nobody thinks of that. Every day, everyone wants immediate result.
Quick success, quick results.
I think time is short, so we should move to another thing. Thank you, Seema. Thank you, Kanchan. Thank you, Neelam and Usha, for giving us opportunity.
Thanks, Kanchan, for calling us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, our eloquent speaker, and thank you, chairpersons, for your expert comments. Yes, digitalization has led to immobilization. Now we proceed forward in our program in session 2, that is lifestyle and the non-communicable diseases. It is my proud privilege to introduce Dr. Sumita Verma, one of us graduated and post-graduated from GSVM Medical College. We are proud to have you here as Secretary, Faizabad Obs and Gynae Society, Director, Consultant, Deva Memorial Hospital Institute of Advanced Endoscopy, honors in 6 subjects in MBBS, faculty and panelist at many state and national forums with special interest in imaging and high-risk obstetrics and minimal invasive surgery. Welcome, dear Sumita.
Thank you.
Our next chairperson for this session is Dr. Sabah Asad, past President, Moradabad Obs and Gynae Society, Consultant Obs and Gynecologist at Moradabad, MBBS, JNMC Aligarh, immediate past President of Moradabad, also worked as Treasurer, Secretary and Editor MOGS, Executive Member of West UP Chapter ISOPAB, Member of SBSI, publication in many journals, and conducted various awareness programs. Welcome, Dr. Sabah. And now I also invite Dr. Archana Singh, Secretary, Moradabad Obs and Gynae Society, MBBS from LLRM Medical College, Meerut, DGO Calcutta Medical College, experience as senior resident in Gangaram and Swami Dayanand Hospital, Delhi, practicing as senior consultant in Naveen Hospital, expertise in hysteroscopy and colposcopy. A very warm welcome to all the chairpersons. I now request Dr. Archana Singh to kindly introduce our speaker.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce a great and dynamic personality, Dr. Neena Gupta. She is professor and head of department in Obs and Gynae, GSBM, Kanpur. She did her MBBS from Lucknow and MS from Agra, and senior residency from Safdarjung Hospital, New Delhi. She got many awards in different fields. She published many papers in national and international journals. She is running many training programs, and she conducts many public awareness programs, and president of clinic pathological committee, and the nodal officer of COVID wing Obs and Gynae. So I welcome Dr. Neena Gupta, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome, Dr. Neena.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to pay my gratitude to all our seniors and our chief guest, Dr. Rishikesh Pai sir, Meera ma'am, guest of honor, Dr. Madhuri Patel, Dr. Alka Pandey, Dr. Sampat Kumari, Yashodhara ma'am, our co-speaker, Dr. Kanchan, chairperson, Dr. Usha, Dr. Kiran ma'am, Neelam ma'am, Dr. Sumita, Dr. Sabha, and Dr. Ashna. And I want to especially thanks my Cox secretary and president who has given me this opportunity to talk on this very important topic, because I think many of the slides and many of the matter will be overlapping with Dr. Kanchan. She has beautifully covered the topic, and even lifestyle was covered by us to some extent. So please excuse me if some matter is overlapping. So the lifestyle and non-communicable disease, this is the topic. And we all know, even Dr. Seema started saying that 41 million people each year, there is a death due to this NCD. And this is a 74% of all death globally. And when we see the disease burden, 7 in every 10 deaths worldwide is due to NCD. So it's a very important topic. And when we see the status of non-communicable disease in major country, the India that too in the second largest in the world due to NCD, second to China. And when we talk about the premature deaths, then it is second to Russia. And India experienced the highest loss in potentially productive year of life worldwide. And leading cause of death was cardiovascular disease, mostly affecting people aged 35 to 64 years. And the impact of non-communicable disease is so high that it leads to a great economic loss in terms of loss of productive years. And it was calculated that roughly from 2011 to 2025, it was a loss of $7 trillion, and it is about $500 billion per year. And we know a lot of talk about this, that apart from 4 main types, that is CVD, cancer, chronic respiratory disease, diabetes, other type of NCD are hypertension, dyslipidemia, obesity, metabolic syndrome, rheumatoid arthritis, CVD, osteopenia, degenerative disc disease, sarcopenia, depression, cognitive impairment, and neurodegenerative diseases. When we see the causal pathway of NCD, there are underlying socio-economic, cultural, political, and environmental determinants like globalization, urbanization, population aging. And here comes there are some common modifiable risk factors already talked much, that unhealthy diet, physical inactivity, tobacco use, and alcohol. This is the part which we can change, and this can change the incidence of NCD also. The non-modifiable risk factor are age, hereditary, and this lead to intermediate risk factor, that is raised blood pressure, raised blood sugar level, abnormal blood lipid, and overweight and obesity. And when we talk about the lifestyle intervention and pregnancy, according to Ford and Baker's hypothesis, if lifestyle intervention has been done preconceptional and even during in utero environmental, initiation of this preconceptional lifestyle intervention and typical start of maternal lifestyle intervention lead to decreased susceptibility of baby to future cardiometabolic disease. It's very important to start right now. And when we talk about the gestational diabetes mellitus, the incidence is worldwide, it is between 1 to 45%, and in India it varies from 7 to 16%. There was a study where obese and overweight pregnant women were taken from 9 to 12 weeks of gestational age, where insulin resistance by HOMA index was more than 2.5. Insulin resistance by HOMA index, when it is 1 or less than 1, that means that patient is insulin sensitive. On more than 2, it is insulin resistance, and more than 2.5 is highly insulin resistant. They were divided into 2 groups. In first group, standard care was given. In second group, lifestyle intervention was done. And it was seen in second group, there was a large number of reduced incidence of for gestational age infant. So it is a definitely role to cure the complications of gestational diabetes mellitus. When it comes to the truth about the menopausal metabolic syndrome, the science behind it is estrogen controls the glucose regulation in CNS and beta cell. And when the estrogen level is high, the patient is insulin sensitive, and as soon as she reaches the perimenopausal and postmenopausal age, she becomes insulin resistant. And also the high level of androgen leads to insulin resistance. So when the person becomes postmenopausal, she is more prone for this metabolic syndrome. And estrogen has a protective effect against the resistance to the menopausal metabolic syndrome, and testosterone provoke it. So we should be very cautious after the menopause, and especially after the 65 years of life. So the incidence of metabolic syndrome among pre and postmenopausal women has raised from 13.8 in premenopausal and more than 60% in postmenopausal, with varying greatly in different population. The metabolic risk factor in terms of attributed death, the leading metabolic risk factor globally is elevated blood pressure, to which 19% of global deaths are attributed, followed by the raised blood sugar and overweight and obesity. Here we can see the 2025 goal of premature mortality due to NCD. Its goal is to reduce it by 25% by reducing 30% reduction in tobacco use, 10% reduction in harmful use of alcohol, 10% reduction in physical inactivity, 25% reduction in raised blood pressure, 30% reduction in salt and sodium intake, and at least 0% increase in diabetes and obesity, and 80% increase in availability of essential medicine, and 50% of availability of drugs and everything for the treatment of heart attack and stroke. When we comes to the national strategy, India's response towards the prevention and control of NCD, India as a WHO member state is committed to implement the appropriate action plan and take necessary steps and initiative as per the action plan of global strategy for the prevention and control of NCD to meet the objective as per suggested timeline. Many of the programs Dr. Kanchan has enumerated in her talk, and health sector related interventions generally targeted at the upper level of the pyramid are costlier, because when the patient develops NCD, then the treatment is very costly, while the intervention at the lower portion of the pyramid caters to a larger population and are cost effective and multi-sectorial in nature. Like we can see in the base of the pyramid, social determinants of health like globalization, urbanization, population aging is, and above that tobacco use, unhealthy diet, physical inactivity, and harmful use of alcohol. That is, lifestyle modification can change all this, which can ultimately lead to the decreased incidence of NCD. This is the 12 tips to be healthy given by the World Health Organization, and amongst it, first is eat healthy diet, second physically active, third is get vaccinated, then don't use any form of tobacco, avoid minimum use of alcohol, manage stress, practice good hygiene, don't speed or drink and drive, wear seat belt, practice safe sex, regular checkup your health, breastfeeding. So out of these 12, 7 are related to the NCD. So, and the physical activity, how much physical activity is important? Adults should undertake at least 150 minutes of moderate exercise per week. This can be spread throughout the week, but like 30 minutes of activity 5 days per week. And this 30 minutes is again divided into the 10 minutes of moderate activity can be done 3 times a day. This can be done by everybody after lunch, breakfast, after breakfast, lunch and dinner. The 10 minutes of walk can solve your purpose. Example of exercise are brisk walking, walking fast, climbing a stair, jogging, cycling, dancing, playing sports, games, yoga, carrying, moving moderate loads. Now coming to the body mass index, here we can see one very important thing, that according to WHO criteria, what we have learned, there is some changes in Asian criteria, because in Asian people are more prone for this metabolic syndromes and NCDs. And in for Asian criteria of BMI, the cutoff for normal is 23, and for overweight it is 25. And there is a one more section that is pre-obese, that is from 25 to 30. Now, how to manage stress? There are 10 ways to get relief from stress. Do exercise, practice yoga, gym. You should be very focused on your career goals, new skill. Always try to learn new skill. Volunteer to join community or volunteer for good causes. to join a good organization like we have joined this organization, and we are doing good for the society, and we feel good by this. No addiction, avoid smoking, drugs, alcohol, plan a holiday to your favorite destination. If you are not doing yoga already, then join retreat and join any yoga or meditation course. Build routine. Build routine is very important. Build daily routine with productive activities. Spend some time on your hobby and home decor, self-help books, soft music, room decor, etc. And stress management technique is based only on two very important things, that is change your thinking and change your behavior, because the things will not change. You have to change your mindset. So reframing and positive thinkings are important aspects. Now among the change your behavior, be assertive, confident on what you do, and respect others. Get organized, properly organize everything you do. So don't get stressed anytime, anyway. Time management is also very important. Share your problem with your family and friends. Humor, laughter, entertainment, listening music, and diversion is also important. If anything is giving tension or stress, then divert your route, and you can de-stress by distraction also. So lifestyle modification, including healthy eating habit, exercise, and yoga, they form the foundation to decrease the risk of non-communicable disease in one's life. And it's truly said that it's health that is real wealth and not the price of gold and silver. Thank you all.
Wonderful presentation.
Patiently.
Amazing presentation. Congratulations.
Thank you, dear Nina, for a wonderful presentation.
Thank you, Seema. Slide share.
Thank you. This was a very good presentation, Nina. Congratulations.
So, I now request our scientific secretary, Cogs, Dr. Nigam, and personality, always helping, always guiding all the members. He has done MBBS from GSEM Medical College, Kanpur, and MS from Allahabad Medical College, practicing obs and gynae with more than 25 years of experience.
Thank you, dear Seema. No need for introduction. Thank you, dear. Thank you.
I now request Dr. Reshma Nigam for her vote of thanks.
I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to our chief guest, Dr. Rishikesh Pai and Dr. Meera Agnihotri ma'am, our guest of honor, Dr. Madhuri Patel, Dr. Alka Pandey, Dr. Sampath Kumari, Dr. Yashodhara Pradeep, our esteemed experts and chairpersons of both the sessions, Dr. Kiran Pandey ma'am, Dr. Neelam Mishra ma'am, Dr. Sabha Asad, Dr. Sumita Verma, Dr. Archana Singh, and overall, a big thanks to our multi-talented speakers, Dr. Kanchan Sharma and Dr. Nina Gupta. Overall, big thanks to our President for Cogs, Dr. Usha Goenka ma'am, who is always helping and guiding us in everything. Thanks to my dear sweet Dr. Seema Dwivedi for very smooth moderation. Thanks to each and everyone who have joined the webinar, and last but not the least, our heartfelt thanks to our technical presenters. Thanks to all of you.
Thanks a lot to Shield Connect team. Shield Connect team. Reshma, thanks a lot for Thanksgiving, and thanks for the Shield Connect team who is always there. I am very thankful to Chitrakala, Sahisti, and Suman. Lot much of thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
All the senior